Well, hello again. Cheryl here, the No Sugar Coach. Today's day 18 of my carnivore experiment. This morning I've lost a half a pound, so yay me. My blood sugar reading is parked at 5.1 or 91.8, so that's a really healthy blood sugar level. So today I'd like to talk about carb tolerance. And what is that? So, carb tolerance refers to your body's ability to handle carbs from the foods that you eat, or how well it processes sugars and starches without causing you any health concerns. When you eat carbs, either from fruit or junk food or starchy things like potatoes, rice, your breakfast cereal, your body breaks them down into sugar, which goes into your blood. Then your body uses a hormone called insulin to move the sugar from your blood into your cells for energy. And some people's bodies are better at this process than others. So if you have good carb tolerance, your body can handle carbs really well. It might be able to eat more carbs without gaining weight or without having blood sugar issues. On the other hand, if you have poor carb tolerance, eating too many carbs might make you gain weight easily, hello, or cause your blood sugar to spike. So your carb tolerance depends on things like your genes, how active you are, your age, and your overall health. So it's important to know your carb tolerance because it can help you make better food choices. So if you have low carb tolerance, you might feel a lot better to stay, like if you stay within a certain number of carbohydrates, you'll stay healthier. So how do you find out what your carb tolerance is? You'll need to test your blood sugar at home with a glucose meter and some testing strips. So this is a glucose meter. The testing strips come inside these little foil packets. And this is the device that allows you to prick your finger so you can get some blood to put on the testing strip. It doesn't hurt. The best place to, actually, this is a good tip. Best place to test for your blood sugar is not on the tip of your finger where all the nerve endings are, but rather on the side of your finger. It won't hurt as much. And it's only a little pinprick anyway. So don't be a big baby. All right, so here's what you do. You begin by eating a low carb diet for a few days to establish a baseline for your blood sugar levels. And a great place to start doing that is to follow a carnivore diet because there's virtually no carbs in a carnivore diet. So after a couple of days of eating only meat and fat, now you can do the test. So do the test in the morning. Choose a carb source. A good one to do is like a sweet potato. Prepare about a cup and a half, and that's going to give you about 50 grams of carbohydrate. But before you eat the potato, take a blood sugar reading and write it down. Then eat the sweet potato just on its own and set a timer for an hour. After 1 hour, test your blood again and write down your result. Now set the timer again for another hour and test it again to see where you're at. If your blood sugar hasn't returned to baseline, which is the first blood test that you did, if it doesn't go back to baseline after the 2 hours, it indicates that you have impaired glucose tolerance and possibly even diabetes. For people without diabetes, blood sugar levels should typically return to normal within 2 hours of eating. So a normal blood sugar reading is between 3.9 and 5.6 millimoles per liter, or 70 and 100 milligrams per deciliter. If your blood sugar remains elevated after 2 hours, it suggests that your body is having difficulty processing carbohydrates efficiently. It may indicate insulin resistance, where your cells aren't responding properly to insulin. Visit nosugarcoach.com, where I've written a really comprehensive article on insulin resistance. It's quite interesting. So I'll put a link to that article in the notes below. Now, if your blood sugar levels are between 7.8 and 11.1 millimoles, or 140 and 199 milligrams, it could be a sign of prediabetes. And anything over that might suggest that you have diabetes. And of course, you would need some additional tests to get a proper diagnosis. So if your blood sugar readings are constantly high, you should consult with your doctor for proper evaluation and guidance. If you don't have a glucose monitor, if you don't have one of these little doohickeys, there are other ways to find out what your carb tolerance is. And one of the ways to do that is to pay attention to how you feel after eating carbs. So if you eat a carby meal and after, within a short period of time, you're starting to feel sleepy, you're irritable, maybe you're restless, or you have cravings for more carbs, that may indicate that you've exceeded your personal tolerance level. So keep a record of your responses to different carb sources. Like, how do you react to eating rice? Or how do you react to an apple versus eating blueberries, for instance? And this will help you identify patterns and determine your personal carb tolerance. So remember, your carb tolerance may change over time due to factors like activity level, as I mentioned, hormonal changes. So it's kind of important to reassess periodically and then adjust your carb intake accordingly. So that's it for me today. Don't forget to subscribe and give me a thumbs up. Check out nosugarcoach.com for that article on insulin resistance. The link is in the notes below. And as always, eat well, be kind to yourself, and keep a smile on your face. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.